Temptation Island Season 2 is over, but not before we discuss everything leading up to that final bonfire. Let's get into it. Hey y'all, it's Nay. Welcome back to my little corner of YouTube. This video will contain spoilers for Temptation Island Season 2, episodes 7 through 9. So if you haven't seen them yet and you do not know how it ended, save this video and come back after you do. You are about to hear my thoughts on these episodes, but of course I want to hear yours, so feel free to drop your thoughts below if you do want to participate in the conversation, and give this video a like and a hype before you go. So we are going to get into this individually, but I just want to say that I love the vibes when the girls raided the male villa. It was so girls in a club bathroom coded. If you know, you know. They took all these super hot pictures and plastered them all over the place. The guys took one flicking off photo. Boring. They went through each room together. If you saw, the guys went through them solo. It's just so girlhood coded, and I love that for us. I just love being a girl. And honestly, speaking of girlhood, I even think the single girlies at the guys villa were trying to fight off their excitement for Sydney when they saw her kissed up with Xavier, because they know what happiness looks like because they're women. They were like, oh, like they were trying to be like, oh shit, but it was more like, damn girl, you got a good one, because the man's pretty, like I already said.
Whose girlfriend is that?
Wait, Mikey!
That's Mikey's girlfriend.
Oh.
Wait.
They were like, okay sis, we see what you did there.
Growl, snap, up, lock, down, and in.
Mikey is gonna need therapy after this show, but I do have to say, watching him go through Sydney's bedroom was hilarious. The way that he showed off the picture in the confessional when he found it.
Walked in the crib and I found meth. Here we go, guys. You guys want to see it?
And then he found the pants.
Oh, so he be in here. Oh, he moved his shit in too.
I mean, it was peak comedy. I rewatched it like 3 or 4 times. I was like, this is terrible. And I do want to say, I think that Mikey was missing the mark when it comes to Sid. He seemed to be hung up on the fact that she went to his sister's wedding and she was texting his mom. And it's like, she could text your mom and say that you're amazing, because are you really going to tell the person who birthed him that, you know, you think he's a terrible person? Like, that's crazy. I don't know what he expected her to tell his mom. Like, of course she's being nice to your mom. Just because she can't stand you don't mean she don't like your mom. Maybe she genuinely likes your mom. She don't want to hurt her feelings. But he seemed really caught up on that. She sat in the front row of my sister's wedding. Okay. And you sat in her face and then walked into another girl's dorm room. You see how easy it is? Mikey's real problem is that he was crashing out because he's used to his personality alone carrying him, and all the girls flocking to him because of his personality. And if I'm going to be honest, that's something that works in college and high school.
I have a great personality. I'm a great fucking person.
But that's not gonna carry you through life. It's not gonna carry you through life when things start getting real. You have to have more than personality, because as India told him multiple times, you're coming off as the homie. What else is there to you except you being the funny guy? And not like, oh, nice guys win last. It's not any of that. Nobody say that. It's more like there's no depth to you. All you have are jokes. But like there's nothing else, is the way that I pictured it. That's how I see him too. And judging by the way that Sid hopped on top of Xavier after she got back home, yeah, we already knew she didn't care. She was on that man like white on rice, as my mom would say. When Sydney said that this was the last time she was trying, she really meant that. And I love that for her. She stood on that. It's the moment that those words left her lips, she was like, I'm done. Like, I don't even see him as a boyfriend anymore. And the way that Mikey sees it is, oh, well, this clearly was a setup. She came on this show on purpose to leave me publicly. I don't know, maybe she did, but like I don't see it that way. I really do genuinely think she came here with a solid plan to figure things out. Like she kept saying, I came in here with Mikey, I wanted to leave with Mikey. But at the end of the day, she did some soul searching while she was there, and it revealed that Mikey was the bare minimum, and the bare maximum should be the bare minimum, and he couldn't give the bare maximum, so here we are. I also love seeing, because I knew this was going to happen if they showed that clip, when Sydney said the bare minimum is the bare maximum, or should be the bare maximum. When she said that, Mikey, when he was watching the video, was like, I ain't never heard her say no shit like that. And it's because she got that from Xavier. Obviously that came from her new man.
I realized that the bare maximum is the bare minimum. I've found so much clarity, and that's exactly what I want for you.
And so when he saw Xavier say, they were like, see, this is where she got that shit from. This old boy putting that in her head.
The bare maximum
Is
should
the
be
bare
is the bare minimum.
Literally.
That was a very much a guy-coded moment, I guess. But it's like, of course she got it from him. Who else has she been spending time with? Of course her new man said that. That's why it stuck in her head, because it made sense. And I'm gonna go ahead and take that one and put it in my pocket because I like it. And even when she was watching her video that Mikey left her, I said to myself, oh, there was no emotion in that. She didn't feel anything when she looked at that. You can genuinely tell she's done. She just doesn't care anymore. She's checked out. I would be very surprised to find out that they're still together. Oh, and I said I was gonna mention this. Sydney and Xavier are still following each other on Instagram. Instagram. Obviously, they don't have any photos together right now because the show doesn't come out for another 4 days, but they are still following each other. And Xavier actually followed me back on Instagram. I was just trying to be nosy and see who was following each other before the show, because I think the singles think that we don't know who they are, but I think it's been leaked who they are already. And obviously, I already know who they are because I've already seen the show. So I was like, let me do some digging. They still follow each other, so I'm gonna go ahead and say they're still together. Y'all can do what y'all want with that information. I guess we will all find out on Friday or in the coming weeks. There is a part of me though that wonders if after Sydney sees the full show, she's probably already seen it at this point, is she going to feel bad or kind of want to change her mind maybe? Because the reality is Mikey didn't do anything. All the clips that she saw about him saying that he wants to shoot a shot at India, it was neither here nor there. I talked about it in the last video. It wasn't really anything. Mikey was just talking shit. He didn't actually do anything. He didn't kiss anybody. He wasn't hugging up on no one in a sexual way. He did nothing the entire time. So I wonder if after seeing that she's gonna be like, damn, I flipped out over nothing. But really, I don't think so. I think him saying that he was gonna shoot his shot at India was enough to push her over the edge because of all the history that they have. And like she said during the final bonfire, you saying that you changed now does not negate everything that we've been through together and that you put me through. It just doesn't. It doesn't work that way. This is not Men in Black. Memories don't get white. And I feel like that rain was right on time for their bonfire. During the bonfire, Mikey reminded me of that Michael Jackson meme.
I've been going through hell through this. Going through hell.
Y'all know the one where he's talking about touring and he's like, I hate touring. And they're like, Michael, you can't say that. And he's like, I love to tour.
I go through hell. I go through hell touring.
Hands down the funniest piece of content I've ever seen Michael Jackson do, by the way. That man was hilarious. R.I.P. Mike. Mikey needs to let this be a lesson learned for him as an adult. Because as a woman, I fully understand where Sid was coming from.
Mikey, this is the first real conversation we have ever had where you can sit here and actually be real with me.
I can't tell you why.
Why?
I was running from my true feelings.
Yeah, exactly. We have been dating for over a year and some change. And you're telling me this is the first time you felt comfortable not to run from your feelings and sit down and have a real conversation with me?
He changed, and now he feels like, look, I did the thing that you wanted me to do. I changed the way you wanted me to change. Like, you changed on your time. I've been asking for it for, at this point, probably months. They've been together for a year and a half. I guarantee you this is not the first time that these issues have come up. But just as Sid said, this is the first real conversation they're having without him being childish. And so you think that you've all of a sudden in 3 weeks changed courses. She's supposed to be like, oh my God, that's all I've ever wanted from you. That's amazing. It's like, that might work in some cases in this scenario on this show, one case this season. But it doesn't really mean anything. Like, she would still have to go back home and see if you're actually changing or if it's just all talk. It doesn't hold that much weight. It doesn't hold as much weight as he thinks it does. And I think for him, it does because he feels like he's done so much work. But I'm gonna be real, on the woman's side, it's just not enough. It's just not enough. It's too little too late. It's what it boils down to. And I really do think I can speak for most women here who have been in this situation. This is not the first time she told you it's been a very long time. You're not blindsided. You're saying you're blindsided because you don't listen to her. That's just what it is. And so Mikey is heartbroken now. I mean, that man is hurting. You can see it. The pain is real. But he gonna be okay. And I think Sid gonna be fantastic. Moving on to Shyanne and Jack. Watching Shyanne realize who the fuck she is made me so damn happy. And I'm so happy it happened on the show.
This video does give me proof that I have outgrown Jack because it didn't bring back any of the emotions that I thought it was gonna bring me.
I love the pics that she left out for Jack. The one with the throat necklace was a nice touch. Realistically, I think I'm extra happy for Shyanne because she was in a codependent relationship and it was unhealthy and she felt like she couldn't breathe without this man, and like, you should never feel like that about it. Like, you can't breathe without air for yourself. That man don't have nothing to do with you breathing and existing as a woman. And so I'm just really, really happy for her that she was able to realize that through this process. And I know that that can easily change once they leave the show, because it's easy on the show because he's not texting you in the middle of the night saying sweet nothings. You're not seeing him, you know? It's easy to disconnect because he's not there. But once they get back into the real world, I do wonder if that might change. But I don't know. He was talking about it's time for him to show out, and, you know, he's been in a box and it's time for him to escape the box, like she been holding him back, when in reality, I think he's been holding her back. Clearly, he wants to be a party promoter. I can't get past that. He wants to be a party. He's 25, okay? He wants to be a party promoter. She has businesses. She has real goals. But you think that she's holding you back? Make it make sense. And the problem is that he had 3 amigas over there backing him up.
I feel like she took away your personality.
Yeah, my personality was gone.
So your personality was in a box, and then as soon as you got in here, you unlocked it and opened the box, and now we're like,
Why would you ever want to put yourself back in that box?
And it's like, of course they gonna say that to you. They here to tell you what you want to hear because they just having fun. They don't have a relationship on the line. So I wouldn't really be taking anything that they say in regards to that with anything more than a grain of salt, if that. And I'm talking fine salt, not the chunks. I'm happy that both of these two left alone. Carter was just playing around with Jack anyway. You could tell by the look on her face when he started talking about maybe seeing something with her outside of this. She was like, I don't know about that, bro. And I think he was just playing with her as well. I'm not gonna say that Shyanne was playing with Preston, but I think they were just having a good time. You know, they were just having a good time. He was really helping her realize her self-worth, and I love that for her. And it's best that they leave alone because he needs to grow or not. That's his business if he chooses not to, and she needs to heal. But I will say this, they still follow each other on the gram. That could mean they're just friends, although I think if you were codependent on someone, you don't need to be friends with them for a significant amount of time, but who knows how it played out. But yeah, they still follow each other. So maybe they ended up back together. I really, really hope not. Moving on to Scarlett and Cole, I was really hoping that Cole left her choosing himself because I think he hit the nail on the head when he said this.
You break the rules, and now you're mad at me because I didn't break them too. Like,
this is basically what I was saying about the fact that she wishes that they hadn't discussed boundaries in such a strict way because she wanted permission to do more. And I think had he done more, she probably would have done a little more too. She just didn't want to look bad. And I will give her this. I don't think she really crossed that many boundaries. She literally just talked to someone else. Cole barely said a word to any woman in the house. So of course, when he looks at her, it's like, you did all these things. But it really wasn't that much. But you know what? I'm on his ass too. Cole read Scarlett's journal out of anger and frustration and curiosity. And I thought that keeping journals was just something that they have for the show. Y'all know, like on Love is Blind, where they have like the journals that they give them to write notes. I thought that this was just a show thing. Turns out, no, she keeps a journal in her everyday life. And the rule is, don't go through my journal.
My journal was gone through.
How do you know?
Because it was, I hid it.
What? What do you mean?
I hid it.
Was it moved?
Yes. We have a rule at home that, like, do not touch my journal. I feel like I have made that so clear.
And I think the fact that he would do it on TV would lead me to believe that he's done it before, even though he's telling me that he didn't. And I think it's a huge invasion of her privacy that you do that. Huge invasion of her privacy. To me, that's akin to listening into her private therapy sessions. Because I journal. People journal to get their thoughts out, their raw thoughts out about how they're feeling. They use it to process things. She might write things in that journal that are just thoughts going through her head that she's trying to work out before she actually says something to you. And so you reading her raw thoughts is not fair because she doesn't get your raw thoughts. She gets thoughts that you filter out. She gets things that you've had time to think on. But you're reading her journal. I think that was a huge invasion of privacy, and that would have did it for me too. I'm not gonna lie. Because I would never be able to trust that you wouldn't do that again when there aren't cameras following you around. Now, Cole does let us in on the fact that prior to coming to the show, they said that they wouldn't go on multiple dates with one person, and she broke that rule. And so I understand him being upset about that. She did go against something they said. But I do agree with Scarlett when she says, like, bro, you took this to the extreme. We didn't say we couldn't literally look anyone's way, and that's how he took it. He's like, I'm Scarlett 24/7. What are other women? I'm not even looking at other women. Like, he really did do that, and I think because of that, he didn't get the lessons that he was supposed to get. Or at least he kind of got there, but he kept rolling back on it. And I knew that Scarlett was gonna say no at the final bonfire by the way that she hugged this man. You hug somebody like this when it's like, ooh, this gonna be our last hug. Like, that's what that was. And that reaction from Cole in the car when he was on his way home was highly concerning. I understand emotions are heated and it's in the moment, but someone who hits things when they're upset would hit me when they're upset. People who punch walls, things like that, like, something about it just, like, is scary. And I don't think a lot of men get that because typically it's men who do this. I don't think a lot of men get that. It's like, it's the same, it invokes the same fear. Whether you're punching a water bottle, a seat in a car, a wall, a pillow, it invokes the same fear that you're going to one day turn that on the person you're with. Like, it's really scary to see someone do stuff like that. And if you're a grown man and you can't manage your emotions, that's a scary thing, because are you going to be able to manage your emotion with me? Would you be able to manage your emotion with our kids? Kids are fucking annoying. I don't have any. There's a reason why. And so a kid leaves a Lego on the floor and you step on it and you feel very real pain. Are you going to go punch something and your kid's going to see that reaction? That's scary. I think he needs to get that in line. Before he thinks about dating anyone, he needs to figure out how to manage his anger in better ways. And I know it was just, 5 seconds that we saw, but what I'm saying is it invokes the same fear as the other stuff. Also, I still can't stand this man's mustache.
I want Summit to take the relationship more seriously. I want him to want to do those acts of love for me without me asking. I want him to want to take me out to dinner and do special things with me.
Lastly, we have Summit and Kaylee. Summit does not like Kaylee. I don't care that they left her together. He don't like that woman. At least not enough to want to be in a serious relationship with her. I need to go see if they follow each other. That's two people I did not check. She is following him. I just can't see this working out. Okay, well, they're still following each other. But yeah, I just feel like if after a year he's already lost the drive to want to take you out on dates and stuff, that's a bad sign. Because that's too new of a relationship for him to not have that incentive. And I actually think Mark nailed it when he said this.
I want to give that to her. I want her to be the priority of everything.
I think you want to give that to her.
Summit always says that's what he wants because he thinks that's what he's supposed to want at his age. And so he's trying to force himself into wanting it when in reality he has not gotten there yet. And it's okay, but pretending that you want it doesn't make sense to me. That being said, on Kaylee's side, you can't make someone want marriage or any of these things on your time. It has to be on their time. And I thought that his mom was helping him realize that, but maybe not.
That doesn't mean that you need to commit to Kaylee forever as your wife. You're young. You both are young.
I was actually really surprised to see these two leave together because I feel like there's just too much water under the bridge in this relationship. It feels like he has made her not feel worthy and not beautiful and all of these things, and I don't see how you go back on that. Because even if he does apologize about it, I feel like she would still feel like he feels that way. So at the very least, they would have a lot of work to do. I don't know. They still follow each other, so maybe they still together. Maybe they moved in together. Maybe they got the dog. Maybe all of the things happened. Honestly, for me, it's neither here nor there because I don't really care about these two. No shade. That's pretty much all I have to say. This was a very interesting watch for me, watching this show for the first time. I understand why people like it. It has potential for a lot of drama, and I think I will watch it and cover it again. Let me know your thoughts on these final episodes, who you think might still be together, or if you already find out who's still together and who's not, let me know. The people I'm most curious about, Xavier and Sydney, obviously. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye! This video will contain spoilers for, I was about to say Love Island. We ain't even on Love Island. This video will contain spoilers for, I was about to say Love Island again. Love Island on the brain. I see I'm not gonna be able to get through the intro today. And I feel like that rain was right on fire for they, right on fire. Jumped on top of it, and judging by the, what was that? I love to tour. Why did he lie like that?